Hello Mystical family, it is Amanda here from Mystical Dragon to bring you another Oracle card deck review and flip through and a bit of a closer look. And at the time of filming this in June 2022, we actually have a brand new deck that we have just received, which I'm really excited to be able to share with you. A really gorgeous deck. The imagery and the words are just gorgeous, so I'm sure that you will enjoy it just as much as I have been enjoying having a good look and a play with this particular deck. This is Hummingbird Wisdom, a deck by Ellen Valadez. I hope I've said that right. And it's illustrated by Yasmin Westwood. Really pretty deck. But also has a really good guidebook with some really great interpretations in here as well. I am always a sucker for the full color guidebooks, and this is one of those full color guidebooks with some really pretty extra imagery and such throughout. So that's always makes it a bit more pleasurable to read and play with the guidebooks themselves. So we do have a bit of an introduction, which is a bit about kind of how these oracle cards were inspired and playing with that hummingbird magic. And then she has a quick note about angels in the front, simply because she's worked with the angelic realm herself and mentions the angels at different times throughout the card. So while they're not an angel deck, she does talk a little bit about angels. So if you're an angel person, you may find this deck resonates with you. A little bit about how to use the particular deck. So things like preparing the deck itself and steps for creating space and a nice space, of course, to be able to do your card readings as well. So there's a step-by-step in the front of the guidebook for that. And then she has 3 different spreads, a 3-card spread, a 4-card spread, and a 5-card spread, to be able to give you some inspiration as to ways to work with this particular deck. Obviously, we don't have to stick to the ones that are in the guidebook. I'm always interested personally to take a look at what spreads there are, because you often find some new spreads to try out, which is always nice as a reader to be able to have new spreads to try and see what resonates with you. So then we dive into all the meanings. So once again, we're still in the beautiful full color, and every single card is depicted, so you can't get lost with which card you are reading about. You definitely know you're on the right one. So we have a key phrase with every card, and then there's another extra sentence or inspiration that goes with it, and quite a good amount of information for each card and for kind of connecting with the card meaning, and even some guidance around, you know, so how would you go about making this change or looking at this further is in some of the cards there as well. Plus every card has its own affirmation too. As you can see, it's a full gloss book, so fully coloured, all the pages are glossy. A really pretty deck, a nice guidebook, and a nice amount of information. Every card has at least a page of information that goes with it. So as you can see, it's a nice thick guidebook. So then if we take a look at the cards themselves, I think you'll agree it is a really pretty deck. We've got the keywords at the top here in this lovely little scroll, and then there is usually an extra sentence or key phrase that is connected, but it's not so obtrusive, because sometimes, you know, there's so many words, or the words are so big that it kind of is a little intrusive in the imagery, but it's not so intrusive, so sometimes you kind of have to go looking a little bit for the words. But certainly very pretty, really colourful, all connected to the hummingbird, which I think you'll agree with me, the hummingbird has a gorgeous energy about it by itself, a real fairy, I suppose, angelic kind of energy, a real otherworldly kind of energy that goes with the hummingbird. So it's kind of not a surprise that someone would have worked with that energy in an oracle deck to bring that to life and connect people with it more fully, which is just beautiful. Really nice colours. Like, it's certainly a nice light and bright deck. It's got a nice kind of magical energy to it. The messages themselves are really uplifting and empowering as well. And this would even be a nice deck, even if you didn't want to do a full spread with it, to do a single card or to add an extra card to another spread, like to finish that spread, to make sure that you're finishing on a nice high note or a really nice light note, an empowered note. So this would be a good spread for that as well, with the imagery and the messages that are contained. So a really pretty deck, a really nice size to be able to handle easily as well, as you can see. A lovely guidebook that's very easy to go through and to read from. Enough on all of the cards that you could really just allow your intuition to flow, letting parts of the images pop out to you for that intuitive side to work, or working with some of the, you know, like the key phrase at the top or the key sentence that is literally on the cards themselves, so that you're not completely reliant on the guidebook itself. But the guidebook is really lovely, very easy to connect with and read, very down to earth. And as I say, you know, makes a lot of sense and is really beautifully empowering as well. So I really hope that you enjoyed connecting with this deck. Don't forget, Mystical Dragon, also we have our in-person store where you can walk into our store and purchase oracle cards as well as many other products. We have an e-store as well for those of you that can't get to us in person here in Seaford, Australia. I would love for you to like my video here, explore some of the other oracle card decks that we have been reviewing and taking closer look throughs, as well as our spells and other spiritual topics that we chat about on this channel. So do subscribe for more of all of that and carry on this beautiful spiritual journey along with us. Wishing you a really blessed and beautiful day ahead, guys.